Hey guys, it's YodaJoe93. So I know it's been a while since we've done a video like this, but we're going to be reviewing Gotham Knights episodes in this video. So yesterday I did a big watch party where I caught up on all my TV shows. So in this video, we're going to talk about episode 4, episode 5, episode 6, and episode 7 of Gotham Knights. Now I know a lot of you guys have kind of given up on Gotham Knights, and I know a lot of YouTubers have decided they're not going to review Gotham Knights because the show just doesn't work for them. They're not interested in it. They don't see other people. They see people just complaining because people are mad because Gotham Knights replaced Batwoman. I understand. I understand your frustration. I was a fan of Batwoman. It was a good show. I liked it. Season 1, very bad. Season 2, well, I guess season 1 wasn't very bad. It was okay, but it had problems. Season 2 was horrible. Season 3, we were finally getting good, and things started to change. But now, we're here in Gotham Knights, and we have now gotten up to 7 episodes of Gotham Knights. And I'm going to tell you guys, I know there's a lot of people on YouTube that don't like this show. I enjoy this show, and a lot of people are like, well, how can you be a Batman fan and enjoy it? You're not watching this show through the eyes of the Bat family. You're watching this through the eyes of the future of the Bat family. So in the Gotham Knights video game, which we'll be playing for the podcast later today, you have your Gotham Knights are Barbara Gordon, Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, and Jason Todd. But this show there was not able to get rights to those characters. It was difficult. So these are all new characters. And they're all really good. And it's a really cool story. I like all the different characters we have. I think they've set up some really good things with them. So without further ado, let's get into our review. Alright, so episode 4 of season 1 is going to be called The Butchers and Betrayers. So this episode involves Turner and Harper investigating a possible connection between Bruce Wayne's death and the mysterious death of a lawyer. This episode was interesting because it ended with a cliffhanger where we found out that we now know even more. And one of the things we learned in this episode is the fact that we learned that basically Turner's aunt, who is supposed to be loyal to him and Bruce, is a member of the Court of Owls. And this show goes deep into the Court of Owls, and they use them as more of a shadow organization. Like, we don't get to see them in their full glory like you should expect, but it goes into them, and it's interesting. So this episode we get to see, basically, you see Turner and Harper investigating into the possible connection. You see Turner ends up finding out about this big thing, and it ends up getting crazy. And while they're investigating, you have Stephanie and Carrie are both here trying to investigate a member of the court, because we learned that a member of the court has survived, and his daughter is alive, and the court's been paying money to them and taking care of her. So they go visit Eunice in the nursing home to get answers, and it goes very badly. So that was really where things got pretty bad, and it was interesting to see. And then you have this cliffhanger with and there's stuff going on with Harvey Dent in this show. I really do wish that Harvey Dent was the main character of this show, but I think they use him in good ways. I do like this show. I don't know why people hate on this show. So overall, episode 4 was more about just finding out more about the court, unraveling the mystery. The mystery gets deeper and deeper each time, and it was interesting. And then the big betrayal and the connections with Eunice led to some really awesome stuff. Alright, so I'm going to give episode 4 a 7.5 out of 10. Not a perfect episode, but a pretty good one. Moving on to the next episode. Now, we are reviewing episode 5 of season 1. More money, more problems. So, a plan in place to take the Court of Owls leads Turner and the team to a notorious mobster family, the McKillans. Meanwhile, Harvey seeks help from a psychiatrist. So let's break all this down. So Harvey is worried because he's having weird changes in personality with himself. So he goes and seeks help of a psychiatrist. it doesn't go the way that he wants it to. He's still trying to figure out. So this, they have an identity disorder thing going on with Harvey Dent in this episode, which connects to his Two-Face roots. So I really appreciated this as a fan of the character, and I thought they did a good job handling this. And then this episode we get to see mobsters versus the Gotham Knights, and it was fantastic to see them all take down the mob because they need information on how to draw in the court for their big plan. So this was really cool to see, and once again, they're still on the run, but the city's starting to view them as heroes, and it's kind of great to see. So they took the money from the mobsters, are viewed as heroes, and new things are set in motion. And so this was a really good episode. Loved seeing the team come together, assemble, and kick ass. I love each of the Gotham Knights. I think they're fantastic. The way they're used, the way they're utilized is just absolutely fantastic to me, and I'm a huge fan of it. I thought it was great. So, my thoughts on this episode, I'm going to give this one a significantly higher one. I'm going to give this one an 8.1 because it was a very good episode. There was some good action in it. It led to some really good stuff, and I was a big fan. Alright guys, let's move on to the next episode. Now, a chill in Gotham. This episode, as Joe Chill is about to be executed, he asks for one final favor, and that is a final request. He asks for Hunter to see him, and they have a heart-to-heart chat about everything that's gone on, because Chill knows about the court, knows the court's going to execute him, and gives him information. And so this leads to some very interesting stuff. And so this episode was great, because then we get into this big fight scene. And in this fight scene, we get to see each member of the Gotham Knights turning to their strength, but it's also in a realistic self-defense situation. They're fighting these guys in this gym, but not all the Gotham Knights are trained well in combat. So some of them are struggling and could very well die. But Harper steps in to help Stephanie, and Stephanie will become Batgirl in the future if you're wondering, but for now, she hasn't gotten there yet, so it was really cool to see. She's more of the Oracle stage right now, being just smart. But so each of them fighting in this really cool fight sequence in this gym. The camera pans around. You see each of them kicking ass, taking names. It was so cool. It was really cool to see. I really liked this fight scene. I thought it served the episode well. And there's not too much episode in Gotham. There's not too many fight scenes in Gotham Knights that look this good. So this one gets a huge grade for me. I'm going to give this episode of Gotham Knights, especially with the way things ended with it, I'm giving it a 9 point. I'm going to give this episode an 8.5 out of 10. Like I said, not a perfect episode, but still pretty enjoyable. I'm liking the show. I'm liking where things are going. I think it's enjoyable. So 8.5 for me. Really enjoyed this episode. Next one, let's talk about Gotham Knights, episode 7 of season 1, titled Bad to Be Good. Now, in this episode, we go through a series of heists, and Gotham Knights and Turner turn their attention to a possible connection to the Court of Owls. So they're going on these heist missions because somebody's been trying to steal these paintings. And we confront the person that's stealing the paintings, but it ends up being a current police officer who basically her family was taken from her and the court is holding them for ransom. So we have to give these paintings we have to give these paintings up so that we can save their families and everyone else in attendance. And we use Eunice for leverage because the court has to protect Eunice because of the ties to their main leader. Because it turns out that the Butcher of Gotham, who is a famous serial killer, he's actually still alive thanks to some things that they have access to, some sort of hallucinogen or juice that they've been using, like some sort of drink. They're using some substance, maybe like a Lazarus pit or something crazy, to keep him alive. And he's their main talon. So we dive into the talons a little bit. In the last episode, we had a thing where Harvey witnessed Lincoln getting injured by the talon, but the talon didn't come for him. So that was intriguing. Now here we're dealing with the next full circle, and we still have this lingering thing with Rebecca and Harvey, where they can't be together, but they both really like each other, and shit hits the fan as Lincoln is in the hospital, and he's in critical condition, but he's stable, so he'll probably come home. But so things are getting bad. So then you have Stephanie and So Stephanie and Harper are trying to get along, trying to learn how to do everything. But you have, once again, this time, Carrie and Delilah are basically, or Dula, the Joker's kid, are basically here to try and are trying to interrogate Eunice for information about the court. Dula, yeah. So they basically are trying to get information about the court, but Eunice ends up backstabbing them, taking the ballerina box that they stole from her and stabbing her with it. And so then you get this rage, and you get this moment between Turner and her, which is really nice. And then we have a moment with Stephanie and Hunter and Turner where they're about to kiss. But then, right as it happened, Brody called, saying that his dad's in the hospital. And so things are getting a really tense moment here, and things are getting pretty interesting. So we get the paintings back. We use Eunice as leverage. They take Eunice back. We leave. We don't get to keep any of our scores, unfortunately, but because we do give out the money from the McLarens later in the episode. So this made the episode very interesting. There was some complexity. There was some different things going on, and it set the stage for where the rest of the season is going to go. I really enjoyed this. Is the 7th episode. It's not as good as the previous two, but it's interesting. I'm going to give this one a 7.4 out of 10. Not a perfect episode, but it was still pretty good, and I enjoyed it. I enjoy where things are going in the story. Can't wait to see what episode 8 brings. So if you guys enjoyed my Gotham Knights reviews, let me know in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, guys.